on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am here at the Hills of Eternity Memorial Park here in Colma, California. And as you guys know, lately I've been talking a little bit here and there in past videos about receiving vaults, some of these old-time receiving vaults and some of these old-time cemeteries that I'm finding here and there. And for those who don't know, back in the 1800s, early 1900s, when digging equipment wasn't or isn't what it is nowadays, and certain states the ground would freeze during the winter, receiving vaults were used to temporarily store the deceased until the ground thawed enough for them to be able to dig, and or if they were having, in some other states that maybe the ground doesn't freeze, where they're having an elaborate crypt or mausoleum built, it's a temporary place to store the deceased until their final resting place is done being constructed also. Over here at Hills of Eternity, by the main mausoleum over here, there is an old-time receiving vault that I found kind of like back in the cuts. It's a trip. It's very old. It's outside, but it's got a skylight. It's very, very decrepit. Obviously they don't use it anymore because they can just dig. California here, they can dig in the wintertime and it doesn't matter. And it looks as though this thing hasn't been used in many, many years. So we're gonna go over there and take a look at it and check it out and see what we find. So if you're ever in the area and want to come check this out, when you first drive in the gate, you drive up. On your right will be the main mausoleum over here, and then on the other side of the road here, there's a pathway right here, and there's another mausoleum up to the left over here too, and there's a pathway, and you walk up the path. This thing's almost hidden by some of these trees and bushes, and you walk up the pathway here. This is a trip. I always find these a trip. And there's a gate with a lock on it, as you can see. And inside, so you can see there's a skylight. It's broken, but as you can see inside, there are what looks to be like a mausoleum kind of setup, crypt deal here, but they are numbered, and they have locking mechanisms on them, like with some kind of key. It looks like you could lock and unlock them, and then they have hinged doors that swing outward. There's a more close-up shot of it. This is about as close as I can get, as much as I can zoom in on it, of the inside here. Let me pan around here a little bit. There's a lot of overgrown in here. I don't know why I'm just so fascinated by these, because they're so old and a thing of the past anymore in probably a lot of states, that it's just like such a cool little gem to find. Stained glass skylight that has been broken, probably by the elements, the overgrowth in here, maybe even. As you can see, it's like this little rock area here. It's a trip. Looks like there's little steps right there that go up, probably to the upper level, like above it, where you can see the skylight. But that's what it looks like when you get behind all the trees and bushes. Well, shall we go up to the upper level and look at the skylight? Maybe look at it from the upper level looking down into it? Let's go check it out. Like I said, there was little stone steps almost hidden that are on the right side of this thing that lead to the upper level. God, this is so old school. I love this kind of stuff. And there is the skylight right there. Just been tore up. I tried to look this up online to see if I can find any information as far as dates, how far back this goes, but I haven't been able to find much of anything. If I find anything out at a later date, I'll do like a different video on this and kind of update you guys on this stuff. But this is such a trip. I like this old school stuff. You can see this side is really damaged, really bad. But obviously, you know, they don't, to my knowledge, I don't think they use this or any, you know, any receiving vault anymore. Because all the ones I do find, they're so, some of them are just so tore up, they couldn't possibly still be using them. Yeah, zoomed in a little bit different perspective, a little bit. Can't get too close to the edge here, it's dangerous, obviously. But as you can see, the tore up stained glass, part of the skylight, and then the skylight itself. It's got the chicken wire inside, so it's kind of holding the glass together somewhat. But yeah, you can see one of the doors down there on one of the crypts, the hinges, and it swings open, and it is numbered. And it's got, looks like a little place to put like a name label on it too. But this is what they used to do when they were, you know, in California, our ground doesn't freeze. But that's pretty much what they would do when they were, you know, constructing an elaborate mausoleum, private family crypt deal, like those over there. They would temporarily store people in these down here to store them until their final resting place was completed. And then certain states, like I said, when the ground would totally freeze over and they couldn't dig, then they would store them there probably till spring or summer until they can get it open and the ground open enough to put them in the ground. One more look at the walk up the path here. I've been in this place before. Before I actually found this place a while back, I've been in the cemetery several times and I never knew it was here behind all this shrubbery and trees and everything. The spot that time forgot almost, right? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon. Therefore, you can be notified of all of my future uploads. Fellow explorers, it was a pleasure to bring you this. As I find more receiving vaults in other cemeteries, if I can find more, I will continue to document them, because like I said, it's just like a, you know, at least in California, to my knowledge, they don't use them anymore, as you can tell by the looks of this one. Maybe in some cemeteries they still do, but to me it's just such an old school thing of the past, how they would, you know, store the dead when they couldn't dig, or until something elaborate was built for them. They would just temporarily store them, and then I guess when it was time, unlock it and pull them out and put them in their final resting place. All right guys, thanks for watching again, and I'll talk to you soon.